All right, Charlie, go ahead.
Okay. My top tip is changing everything when you feel stuck. And by that, I mean going back through your messages, how you're posting, and literally everything. And I kid you not, I delete it all. I use nothing and I start from scratch. So like I go back and I look at my avatar, because as you do personal development, your avatar changes. So the person that you're speaking to changes. Your messages need to change, because when you keep them the same, you're going to feel annoyed with them yourself. So why would you send that? That's going to come across. So I highly suggest never using a script from somebody else. Create your own. Make it sound like you. You can use it as like a guide, but I wouldn't like copy and paste it. Your post. Change up your posts. If you start posting the same things, chances are people are just going to scroll by. So you need to change it and make sure that it's constantly changing. So Stephanie talked about the color wheel last week. That's basically just having like ideas. So like you can have like a guide. I have a guide, like fitness coach, but I change each topic in that specific fitness or coaching related post. So my fitness post is not going to be like, hey, look at me, I just worked out. It's going to be like, so, like this morning I used like multitasking. I use my personal development more of like fitness is more mental clarity. So like I quit multitasking because I'm not fully in the zone. But each time I change it up, it relights that fire in me. So that was my top tip.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Charlie before we go to the next one? I should have started with Leah I should have done these in order. Okay, Leah, yours was consistency.
What do you mean by avatar? Like your, what do you mean?
Okay, so your avatar is the person that you're talking to. And basically the person you're talking to is yourself. So as you do personal development, you change. So like your ideal market, your niche. Like for me, I used to just be like, oh, I just want to work with moms. But now I've really niched down into like postpartum, busy stay-at-home moms, because that's who I am. But somebody who has no excuses even though they're busy. That's who I am, and that's who I talk to. So just figure out who you are as a person right now, and that's basically your avatar. Any other questions?
Charlie's will kind of make more sense after Leah does hers. I should have done them in order, but I was kind of just going in order on my screen. So Leah, you do yours, and then we'll kind of circle back to Charlie's real quick before we go on to the next one.
Okay. So mine is, my biggest tip is consistency. So there's going to be days where like you feel like you are just like, when we were talking about this earlier, it just came to my mind like you're trudging through molasses. And like people are saying no, people aren't answering you, like people are leaving your messages on just read, and you're like, what is going on? And you start to get in your head. It'll happen. You're going to get in your head, and there's going to be this fear, there's going to be this uncertainty, and you're going to question like everything. It's going to happen. We're human. But you have to stay consistent, because like you're pushing this boulder up this huge mountain, and like every single day you're just pushing this huge boulder a little bit more. And the second you start to let up a little bit, it's just going to roll back down on you, and you're literally going to start from scratch. So you have to be consistent every single day, no matter what. Like there's going to be days where you're tired, you're like, I don't really want to. It's the same thing as like fitness. You're like, I don't really want to work out. Do you ever regret a workout? No. You always feel better afterwards. Do I ever regret just sitting down and sending messages? No. I never regret it. I regret not doing it, but I never regret doing the work and putting in the work. So you just have to stay consistent.
Preach.
Okay, so real quick, just to circle back to Charlie's, if we're saying that you need to be it's hard to be consistent because you start to feel like stale and bored. And when that happens, that's where you move into Charlie's. You need to find a way to like relight your fire and switch something up so that you're excited to do it again and not stuck in the mud.
Can I elaborate on that one sec? So in addition to both of those, if you ever feel like you're getting stuck, like you're doing the message every day and you don't feel like it, if you get into that I don't feel like it mode, then you need to do something that excites you. Not even just for your, here, go talk to Daddy. I don't know. Hopefully this doesn't cut off my internet. But if you ever get stuck feeling like I don't even know what I'm inviting to or where I'm inviting or anything like that, then go do something that makes you happy. Go create a new group, create a new free group, create a new challenge group, create a new challenge within the Sweat Squad. Do something, partner with a success partner, do something that's going to light your fire again, because it can get stale. In the middle of a month, when you invited to a new challenge that started on the 1st, you're like, what am I even inviting to mid-month? You're probably like, I'm bored. I need something new. Go do something new. That's where you take the ownership of your own business, your own income, your own volume, and go do something fun. Maybe you're going to be like, I'm going to do an Energize flash sale, and you're going to do something all by yourself. That's when you go do something exciting.
How you doing?
I will also say, like, if you feel like you're getting bored, like Steph said, in relation to like work, do something new. But then also, like, if you need to just like step away and like go for a walk and just like get that refresh, or just like do something different, or like change of scenery or something, then like do that and then come back like recharged and refreshed.
I do that with personal development. Like I get stuck, and if I just switch my personal development, I feel like a whole new person. It sounds so corny, but it's true. Do you hear Ella singing in her bed through the monitor? All right, Morgan, getting back to your why. This kind of leads right into this. Is she on here? I don't see her.
I can talk on that for her. Morgan has been struggling, like we just talked the other day. So she was struggling with doing the activities every day. She was struggling with showing up to her own business because she's not super motivated by money per se, and she wasn't figuring out like what was bringing her joy in this business, and it felt like she was just kind of doing the actions day after day and forgot why she was doing it. And so she got on her little home screen. She made a home screen background that is an image of why is she doing this. She put a farm sink. She put a stay-at-home mom, says right on there. She put I can't even remember. She sent it to us. I can't remember what else is on there. But she wants to quit her job. I didn't even know that was like a real goal for her. Is she wants to quit her job. And now she opens her phone every day and she sees like, I want to quit my job. It takes a lot less mental power to go send that invite when she constantly is remembering why she's doing this, what she's working for, and what she's working towards. And I really love that constant reminder. I'm pretty sure Taylor has on her home screen, or at one point she did, all of her goals. She had NLC as a goal and 2-star and all these different things like on her home screen background. And I thought that was pretty cool. So just one little thing that you can see on the background. Am I lagging? Yes, no? Okay. Anyway, but always going back to your why. Why are you doing this? And someone talked about your why the other day. If you're struggling with content, just think about why you're doing this. Why did you get up today? Or why did you struggle getting out of bed today? Share that on social media. Why did you work out today? Share why you worked out. Not that you worked out, but why did you work out today? Why did you do every action of your day? Those are all ways you can share on social media, the why behind it. Not the action of the fact that you did it, but why did you do it? Why did you make that phone call today to your doctor? Why did you do whatever you had to do today? Why did you take the steps you did today to move your life forward in any way you did? Can all make awesome content.
Okay, Dana? Dana on here? Oh, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Kinda. I think we can. I think it did in a second.
My internet's going in and out. Can you hear me at all? Okay. Let me know if you can hear me while I'm talking. Mine was consistency. Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So mine was being consistent. I know that's repetitive, but it's that important. So I found the most success when I was doing literally my power hours, which is one of the core behaviors of being a coach. Showing up every morning, carving out the time to do that. And lately I have had zero time with moving into a new house, and I can see it already in my business. So it's like an in real time example of why that's so important. So showing up with a power hour sheet that works for you. I know we're going to talk about that later. And just being consistent with sharing your story every day. People have reached out to me that I've heard this before where you're like, you don't know who's watching. I didn't really believe that. But it's very true. People are reaching out. If you're staying consistent with sharing your story day in and day out, you're going to be surprised at who reaches out to you. So just be the proof of the product that you're trying to sell to people, and it truly works, I promise. So that's where I have found success. The more consistent I am, the more people start reaching out to me that I don't even realize are watching me. And I don't know they're gonna be open and willing until I actually invite them. So people I was afraid to invite in the beginning of my journey, by staying consistent with my power hour sheets and inviting, I've been surprised at who was actually open to what I'm doing. So that's my biggest thing, was consistency with all of that. Hopefully that made sense.
Britt, are you able to talk?
Yeah, it should be okay as I'm bouncing. So for me, mine was my number one tip that I came up with that has truly helped me was to stay consistent even when it's tough. So for example, I think I don't know, I had my worst month, I think, when I found out I was pregnant, because I was so anxiety driven and that's all I could think about. And I remember talking to Stephanie about it, and just that kind of just, talking about it and then putting it in my stories and kind of, just being real and being able to be transparent about it. And then obviously having a baby is tough. So with 3, even when it's tough, so I've kind of changed, instead of doing an hour, an hour power hour, I kind of have to split it up during the day, because there's no way that he will even let me put him down for an hour. I would say even when it's tough, just kind of change it up, kind of like what Charlie was saying. So yeah, that's it.
I like how you said, because yours was we've all said consistency, but you said consistency even when it gets tough. And I like how you said to use that to fuel you, how you put it in your stories and you talk about it instead of just sitting in your own crap.
Yeah. Or talk to any of us about it. Sorry, I have no sleep. I can't even think.
Why?
I don't know. I had a 15-minute sleep consultation phone call today to see if that would help. But then they emailed me to buy something, so. we'll see. He's only 7 weeks.
So I can't have another child. All right, Kimberly, you need to make the time. Are you on here?
Yeah. So I was just, obviously consistency is huge, and I've been bad about that ever since I found out I was pregnant. I just had trouble making time. So making time, like, this business isn't gonna do it for you. Like, it doesn't just like happen because you know, want it to. You have to make the time, and make the time for yourself. Like, you have to make the time to be, somebody said this earlier, but like, you have to make the time to be the product that you're selling. Like, you have to do your workouts, you have to make time to have your shakes and do your meal prep, and like, you have to find that time in your day and in your week, and you have, like, if you don't make that time, it's not going to happen. And even when things get hard, like, consistency has been really hard for me because I wasn't able to talk about pregnancy until a couple weeks ago, and so that's been much easier for me now. But making time in your day, like, regardless of how hard it is, like, talk about how hard your day has been, or talk about, you know, why you don't have time, and that will at least give you something to talk about. But making time for this business, because it's not going to do it on its own.
True. And then I think Holly's going to talk a little bit more on that later. Just going to expand off of that. Cindy, get out of your own way.
All right, had to find my unmute button. So my biggest thing is I get in my own head, and my self-doubts, I start to feel like lost, as like I don't know where to start and what to do. So this week, I faced some issues with my business, and it was a huge wake-up call that I've just been in my own way. And I got back to it, and I sat down, and I'm making my lists, and I'm sending my invites, and I'll start to get that doubt coming back in my head. Well, like, oh, I'm going to send this person. Well, they might not. And then I think, you know what? This person doesn't even really know me. Like, what do I care if I send them an invite and they're not interested? Like, it's not anything against me. What if I send them an invite and they've been looking for that, which I've actually come across this week. So just in the last couple days, I really got out of my own way, got out of my own head, pulled my head out of my butt and started inviting. And I've got like so many people that are like, oh my gosh, I was going to reach out to you. And it's actually inspiring. So once you start actually sitting down and doing the work and seeing how many people do want to hear about it, it's even more motivation.
You guys, what if Nicolette never invited me? Think about how many of you wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Like, if you think of the bigger picture, what if someone never invited Nicolette? What if someone never invited Brittany Leggett? What if someone never invited these people? What if someone never invited us? We wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? So think of who you're inviting, who they're going to invite later. Like, that's the bigger picture. And that's where it's like, boom, like, dang, you know what I mean? So I think that's huge. And I'll shut up now.
Like, you could be inviting the next top coach. And maybe you won't be, but you couldn't be inviting the next one. Who's next? Brittany Wilkins. No? Brittany's was personal development. We kind of talked about that. It seemed like, I know when I first started, and probably into a year of coaching, that was my least favorite of the 4 vital behaviors, and I didn't do it for a long time because I was like, well, this is important, inviting is important, recognizing is important, all of them are important except for personal development. That doesn't have anything to do with my business, but it does. It's huge. 1, you have nothing to post about when you're not doing personal development. 2, you start to get into these, I want to start listening to that too. I've been listening to the Trent Shelton one though for now. I'm reading all these things.
Okay, if you have, show of hands, in case you didn't see it in the chat, who has not started personal development yet? Raise your hand. It's okay. Raise your hand. Sasha, what the? I see
You
hands.
mean by like reading a personal development book?
Or listening to a personal
Listening.
podcast or listening to a
Okay.
book.
Okay.
But yes, like in that form of pouring into yourself. Okay, it doesn't have to be business. It can be, because business, like listening to business things can fire you up and make you think out of the box and make you like do the things. It can make you do the crap. Maybe you need help with like limiting beliefs. Maybe you need help with your marriage. Maybe you need help with your faith. All of those things are going to fill your cup. You guys are doing a job that literally involves pouring into other people. If you're not pouring into yourself, you're going to feel drained. You're going to feel heavy. You're going to feel empty. You're going to be like, why isn't someone doing this to me? Like, I need someone to tell me that I'm worth it. That's what personal development does. Personal development teaches you all the things that you are telling, like you making yourself believe you're not. It's going to change everything in your mind to make you believe you are, and you can, and you will, and you do. That's the whole purpose of personal development, to like build off of your strengths and build from your weaknesses. Make sense? Do it.
Julia,
challenge you.
if you haven't liked listening to books, you probably, one, haven't found a good one for you, for what you need. And two, don't try and like make it like part of your task sheet or your lit. Like, do it on your way to work, do it on the way to the store, on the way to the grocery store, like listen to headphones while you're doing laundry. Like, just make it part of your day, not something that you need to sit down and do, because that's not going to be enjoyable or effective.
I don't go anywhere. Sorry.
Okay.
That's me too. I was listening to it when I was doing like dishes and stuff. But I don't know. I couldn't focus to listen. I don't know.
I do it in the shower. I put my phone right outside the shower and I listen in the shower, because that's like a really good time to like absorb stuff, and you're not doing anything else. You're just taking a shower. So in my rule, I don't like to sit and like listen to a whole chapter, because sometimes that's hours and sometimes 10 minutes just feels daunting. I listen until I take something away. So like if I'm listening to something and there's like a good story going on, I'll listen till the end of the story and figure out what the concept of the story was. Or if I'm listening to something that's like quick little things, I'll listen till I have something I can go put into action. Maybe it's like a tip for your marriage, something you can go actually do. Go do that thing. Don't listen to a whole book and don't put anything into action. Go do the things it's telling you to do. Or maybe it's a business thing, like it'll tell you about teaching you how to follow up with someone. Don't just listen to it. Go do that. Stop listening. Go do, and take away something valuable from it. Don't just listen to check it off a box. Listen to absorb it and put it into action.
So I think my thing is struggling to stick with that. I did it with, when I started listening to You Are a Badass, I would take points out, like you're saying, like once I got to a point, I'd stop it, and I actually have index cards that I've written on. I was putting it on my bathroom mirror, but I couldn't stick with it for some reason. And I don't know if it wasn't what I needed at the time. I just haven't found that, or what.
So I like the fact that PD is on my checklist, because I am a checklist person. And if I don't remind myself I need to listen to PD today, I won't do it and I'll get out of that rhythm. But when I do get into the rhythm, it's like I listen to it every day and I just get in the habit of listening to it. But there's times that I fall out of it and I'm like, I need to get back into PD. And then I'll go back into it, just like any part of our business where, ebbs and flows. But maybe you just need to put it back on your checklist for right now until it becomes a habit again. Just like workouts had to be on your checklist in the beginning until it became a habit. Like make it a habit again, do it for 21 days, and then it'll become a habit. So just kind of remind yourself, like whenever you take a shower, PD, 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 or do dishes or whatever it is for you, just make sure that's what you're doing during that time.
Okay, thank
So
you.
some people, I cannot do audio, like at all. I have to physically read a book. It's not for everybody, but maybe that you're that type of person too, Julia. Like, because sometimes listening to something goes in one ear and out the other, especially if you're doing dishes or something and you have kids screaming in the background, because I always have kids screaming. Vicky, in your terms of therapy, I do therapy. That is not personal development. It is not.
When she tells me to go do homework.
It's not. And I'm telling you this because I physically do it myself. And the reason it's not is because that's more you venting and handling one area of your life. But like personal development, there's different areas to it. So like some things that I struggle with are like self-worth or
Oh yeah, we talk about that.
yeah, but what I'm saying is like you gain something else, or like even from a business standpoint. So like they're like, she's not going to come in and tell you how to run your business, right?
No. Yeah, it's completely, you're right. It is completely different.
So by not doing it and by doing personal development and business development, it'll help you in all areas. It'll help you in things that you struggle with in therapy. It'll help you with things that you struggle with in life and business, all of it. So do personal development or Stephanie will punch you.
Well, so I have taken a step. I did get 2 books and they showed up on my Facebook page like, oh, free book. Like I got that, what was that one that you posted, Josh Coates?
Sorry.
Fuck leadership. Fuck leadership.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got that one. And then I just got another one. I haven't started yet, but I also got the planner that like is associated. This planner has been like the best thing I ever bought. It's the high performance planner. So I have this and I'm gonna buy one every year because it just breaks it down so nice. And then he did the same thing, high performance habits. So I have them. It's just now I have to read them.
So do it. Carve out. Like I sit down. I make like a minimum for myself because otherwise I'm not going to do it and I'm not going to physically do it. So
I can do it before bed. I'll do that instead of like be on my phone because that makes me not sleep anyway. So I'll read before bed.
So here's like
You've heard it here first.
The way that I think of like therapy versus personal development is like therapy, you're talking, it's like talk therapy, right? So like you're talking through things and the therapist is like using techniques and strategies to help you like figure things out on your own, right? And like once you talk about it, you're like, oh yeah, okay. Personal development, you're listening or you're reading and like someone is giving you their perspective and it just like hits you like a light bulb goes off and it just like hits you like deep in your soul and lights a fire within you. Whereas like I said, therapy, like it's like talk therapy and both are super helpful. Like I'm not saying one, I actually like therapy. But that's why I talk so much. I should go to therapy more. But that's how like I see the difference a little bit.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Rachel. Is Rachel here?
Which Rachel? We have 2.
Whoever said follow-ups.
Rachel E. I can't pronounce the last name. I'm sorry, I'm not butchering it.
Englert. All right.
They're both on here. Rachel
That's
Vernon.
Rachel Vernon.
Rachel Vernon.
She changed her name.
She's on her iPhone. Rachel Vernon, unmute yourself.
Oh, Rachel's iPhone.
She's not coming. Okay.
She's sleeping.
What was the question? What did she say?
Following up. If you aren't keeping track of your conversations and following up, you're missing out on helping tons of people and changing lives.
They say that it takes 12 times of connecting with someone before a sale. And that's pretty generic across the board on any sales funnel. 12 times, guys. So many people and that is so real and so accurate. So many people I've talked to literally ghost me. And I keep sending that invite, and when it's a new invite, ghost me. And then they're like, I'm ready now. Or they'll randomly message me and be like, hey, I really need to do something. Tell me about your group you've got going on, or whatever. Stay following up. If someone, and what does that mean? If someone replies to me and if I send them an invite and they reply to me that they're interested, and the conversation might go flat, and then I send them an invite and they don't respond, I will continue having that person because they showed interest at one point. They voted on a story poll. They said they were interested. They commented on my post. They said they were interested. Or we had a conversation and they replied back to me that they were interested. Those are my follow-up people. Those are on paper. They are on a list online. They are somewhere where I can go to my follow-up list and I will follow up with all of those people. Maybe once a week, I'll go mass follow up with all of my people on my follow-up list. I'll check in, see where they're at, how they're doing. Maybe someone said, well, I'm doing Nutrisystem and it's going really great. Perfect. On my follow-up day, I'll check in and see how that's going. Even though they're doing something, I know it might not work out. Maybe they're amazing and it works perfect. I'm going to support them and I'm going to continue following up with them because chances are they're going to get bored or stale or plateau and want to do something different. Or their economic status might change and they have the opportunity to join. Or the job status might change and they are ready to coach. Whatever it might be, I will keep all of those people on a single list that I can follow up with those people at any point in time. Always have a follow-up list.
I just got a message from this girl that I've been talking to who had BOD, but she was randomly assigned a coach, and I've been telling her like how good our group is and blah blah blah. Anyways, so she just messaged me on Monday. So now that I've tiptoed around and drove you nuts, I want to sign up as a coach under you. I just got this Monday. So like I've been talking to her since February. And and I think she's gonna be a working coach. So.
And then
I talked to Stephanie for over a year before I committed. It was over a year.
Ashley and I were roommates in college, and I unfollowed her and ignored her.
Ashley and I worked out together every single day for 2 years.
Follow-ups are gold, guys. And then once they sign up with you, how many times do you hear them say, thank you for never giving up on me? Like, thank you for bothering me over and over again. Like, they're never mad about it once they actually do it.
How many coaches, even here, didn't do anything for the first 7-8 months of their business and then decided to jump in and they're like, thank you for never giving up on me? It's so important. Even if you sign up a coach and they don't show up, and they don't show up, and they don't show up, to still follow up with them and be there. Always. Your job as a coach, you promise to be there for them as a fitness coach or as a business coach or both. And it is your job to continue to show up for them whenever they need you.
Are Darcy or Marcy on? I don't think I've seen them.
Who?
Darcy or Marcy?
No, neither one are.
All right. Holly.
What did Darcy and Marcy, what were their points?
Hang on. Darcy was cut the excuses or reasons you can't do it. You have the time. You choose to do other things with it. You can't expect to achieve your goals not working hard. You're the only person standing in your way, and your excuses will never be greater than your why.
Do you care if I elaborate, Steph? All right, my kids are always in the hospital, in a doctor's office, doesn't matter. My ass gets up at 3:30 in the morning every day. Every day, 3:30 or 4 a.m. I get up, I work out, I work. I will work by their bedside if I have to. Because my goal, my why is to stay home with them. Like, that's my why. I don't want to go back to a 9-to-5 and have somebody else take them for a surgery or for whatever they need. We were in the doctor's office today getting a COVID test. I was working. I was there, but I was working. because he was half asleep. So don't make the excuses that you don't have time. You can find pockets. If you're going to the bathroom, I'm sorry, you have 5 minutes. Go and bite.
I think that goes back to your why. Like, is your why big enough and deep enough? And what exactly is your why? Because I know other people, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, Charlie, but I know other people whose why is to be present with their kids. You know what I mean? So they're going to get up early and they're going to stay up late after their kids so that they can be 100% present in the moment with their kids. And that's totally fine too, depending on what your why is. You've just got to decide your values and your goals have to align. Because to me, I love you, Charlie, so much, and I love your drive and everything. If I were in the hospital with my kid, I'd want to be like holding them and like being loving the baby. You know what I mean? Like I probably wouldn't be working. I was working when I had Abigail because we were just in the hospital for 5 days.
I mean, when they're asleep on
Yeah.
you, on your chest, you have the time. So that's when I do it. But
that totally makes sense. I just
or
didn't
when
want
they're
anyone-
back in surgery and I have nothing to do for 2 hours.
Right.
That's
Totally
when I
makes sense.
open.
Totally makes sense. And I want everyone to know that like this doesn't have to consume your whole life. That's kind of where I was trying to go with it. Figure out your values and your goals and then make a plan to do it. If that means those little power pockets of I'm running to the potty with my phone and I'm going to invite for 5 minutes and pretend like I'm pooping. Or if you are going to wake up early, or you're going to do it during nap time, or you're going to have your mom come watch the kids for an hour, or whatever it is, just kind of making that happen. Darcy is a diamond coach because when you hit diamond status, your lifetime diamond status, that did drop for her. And it's because she allowed life to take over her, and she just let it all become excuses for her that she wasn't overcoming them, which is why she talked about that. And we've had conversations about it. She's like, I just wasn't doing it. And it crumbled for her. So right now she's in rebuild mode. And I think we're going to talk about that with a couple other coaches on here, because raise your hand, diamond coaches who have ever dropped diamond status. Who believes that that's the worst feeling in the whole world? It's the worst feeling, right? Once you hit diamond, you're like, I don't want to be less than diamond. I don't want to be an emerald coach. I'm a diamond coach and I want to go ahead. I don't want to go back. It's almost like when you have a job at work and you get demoted, you're like, this doesn't feel good. Like I deserve to be going higher and stuff. So that's why we say, don't let the excuses be a thing. Create non-negotiables for your life. Create non-negotiables for your business. If your non-negotiables for your life include unplugging from 3 to 5 when your kids are home and it's family time or whatever it is, make that a non-negotiable. But then also make that non-negotiable from 9 to 10 that you're inviting for a solid hour, and make it a non-negotiable. Whatever it is looks like for you, just don't let the excuses overrun your life. Does that make sense? And I hope no one else has to be like Charlie and be at the hospital all the time, because I can't even relate to that. So girl, bless your heart, and you seriously kill it with all you're doing.
Marcy's was to be real and raw with your people. And if you're not being truthful with them, you're probably not being truthful to yourself either.
Yes.
Mine is kind of like that. So I'll just talk about mine with hers. Tyler.
Mine was don't stop. Don't lose your consistency. Don't lose your momentum. No matter what shit comes up, that's life. You still have to get up and go to work every day. So just make it a non-negotiable part of your day. This has literally been my worst month since I started actively coaching.
Me too.
And I feel like garbage basically every day. Third trimester has not been a super fun time for me. But legitimately, instead of napping when I wanted to today, I sat on the couch and put on TV and sent invites and follow-ups. And it sucked to not nap, but I did something. It's better than nothing. Don't stop. I did end up napping after. But don't stop. Like for a good portion of this month, I did the bare fucking minimum, and it's showing. But you just have to pull your head out of your ass and show up.
Samesies.
Mic drop. Pull your head out of your ass. Just show up.
Holly, I skipped you. I said I was going to you and then I skipped you.
Oh yeah, I noticed. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I did notice, but I'm not mad about it. Literally every time I need to talk on any meeting, my dog decides she wants to bark, and today is no different, so sorry about it. So I guess show me your hands if you have ever taken like a mental health day from your 9-to-5 job. Okay, so have you ever taken a mental health month from your 9-to-5 job? Because if you did, you'd be fired. But yet I know I personally have taken mental health months from coaching and then wonder why I'm still a diamond 2 years in. So treat this business like it is your 9-to-5 job. Make these calls non-negotiables. Make power hours non-negotiables. You would not put something on your calendar for a job where you're reporting to a boss and not show up. You wouldn't do it. You would get in trouble. You need to be as accountable to yourself as you would be to somebody else. Your dream is worth way more than the dream of that corporate CEO who doesn't give a damn about you. Show up for yourself every day. And stop saying, I'm feeling bad about myself. I'm just going to not work for 3 weeks or 3 months, if I'm being honest. Sorry if that was harsh. I tend to be a little bit harsh with my words.
No, I like it. It was straight to the point. Taylor.
Are you reading mine or am I?
Oh, did you want me to? You can't do it alone. I'll start it for you. Do you want me to read the whole thing?
I had to remember what I said.
Invite to coaching right from the start.
Okay, so because I was going to also say consistency, so I hope everyone is like taking notes from this of some sort, or at least mentally taking notes, and notice how many of us have said consistency, especially because a lot of us have been here for a while, and consistency is literally the only thing that is going to drive your business forward. So I wanted to say consistency, but I'm going to touch on something else, but I had to just throw that at you too. Be freaking consistent. So I was saying you really can't do this business alone. Like, yes, you can't have anybody else hit your goals for you. You're the only one who's going to be able to hit your goals, but you have to be inviting to coaching. And I don't care if you've been a coach for 5 minutes or 5 months or 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You have to be talking about coaching and inviting to coaching, because that's the only way you're going to actually build a business. Otherwise, you're just selling workout programs and supplements and products, and that's great, but do you want a business or do you want to just make some commission sometimes? You have to have a team working with you, working alongside you, like setting goals with you, and you guys running towards your goals together. And for me, I think for like the first year, I was so scared to invite to coaching. I hit diamond with like discount coaches and my spouse and my friend that I made Emerald. Like, I did not have a working team. And then I finally was like, oh yeah, if I don't start inviting to coaching, like what the hell, my paycheck is going to be $150 like maximum every week. So what else did I say? Yeah, you just don't want to be stuck with like commission forever. And the only way to really like build that income, have residual income, have lasting income, is to have a team working with you.
Vicky asked a question. Do you have any tips about inviting to coaching when you're still an Emerald without many coaches? You don't have to have any coaches to invite to coaching.
Exactly. So don't even think about, well, I've never coached a coach. So this was my fear. I've never coached a coach on the business side. So what the hell? Like, how am I supposed to become a coach? It's just like fitness. Just like when you started helping people on their fitness journey, were you ever a fitness coach before? No, but you started inviting people because you're like, well, this is working for me. I know the results that I'm having with this fitness program. I know the results I'm having with this nutrition program. It's all kind of laid out for me. And I'm just going to start reaching out to other people and saying like, hey, I have this awesome solution for you. I don't know if you'd be interested. Do the exact same thing with coaching. You have seen success with coaching. Even if you've made $20 off of selling like Energize or sold one challenge pack, whatever, like that's huge. Be super proud of the fact that you have earned some sort of income with coaching and be able to share with that. And so if there's somebody that you're like maybe scared to invite because you're like, oh my God, she seems super cool and I don't know if like she's gonna think I'm a loser if I ask her or whatever, like everybody's saying in the comments, reach out to me, reach out to anybody and be like, okay, I want to invite this girl. Here's why I think she'd be a really cool coach, but I don't know exactly what to say and I will totally help you with an invite. But start with posting about coaching on your page, just like you post about fitness and you post about, you know, your transformations and stuff and you invite from those posts. You can always be like, hey, I don't know if you saw my post about this coaching thing that I'm doing. I have this group that I can invite you to. We still have the, what is coaching? I don't know if it's still called what is coaching. My mind is blanking, but it's just a coaching info group. There's no like obligation. There's no pressure on anyone. All you can do is just be like, hey, I have this group. If you want to watch these videos and just learn a little bit, like there's no pressure at all. I would love to add you and see what you think. And that's kind of like a chill, like no pressure way to invite somebody and just see if it's something that they're interested in. But
if you're not
I found that I kind of utilize the success of the upline as a pull-in. Like I was trained by a top coach. There are this many top coaches on the team. They have created a system that is duplicatable. I can't say that word, but you know what I'm trying to say. And this is why I've seen success. And this is why I think you can see success. And like, be just real with them. Like, don't worry about being salesy. Just like, this has changed my life. This is why I've changed my life. And this is why I think it's going to change yours.
I'm not afraid to invite people and I'm not afraid to like talk to people about it. It's just that I'm not really at the point where I can say like I've made enough money or X, Y, and Z. Like I'm more at the point, like I am just making commissions right now. I'm Emerald. Like I have a full-time job. I kind of don't. What?
You're doing it.
Does it pay for your gas? I mean, you're making.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, it does. I just like, I guess I'm struggling with how to market it without me being like a diamond or seeing that, oh, George, yeah, that's true. I do this I basically do this for free.
And also, nobody knows what a diamond or an emerald is if they're not in the business. So it doesn't matter what rank you are. You're a coach. You're a working coach. This is how it's changed your life. This is how I think it can change theirs.
And it doesn't about money all the time either. I mean, money is a big driver for a lot of people, but for some people it's not. So any way that coaching has changed your life in a positive way, share about that. Because if you're not sharing about it at all publicly, it is going to feel really gross and salesy when you try and invite to it.
I feel like I don't really post that. I do post about coaching, but it's definitely not the forefront of my social media. So I definitely need to figure out how I'm going to turn that around for myself. And I like all these tips are good.
Like with me, like when people see your personal transformation, like I can share other people's transformations and it doesn't get as much engagement. When I share my own, like people know I'm me. Sorry, my kids are killing each other. But I get more engagement. Like people, I haven't made like ridiculous amounts of money. You know, I can share that, you know, maybe it's paid for itself, or maybe, you know, now it's helping, you know, with my shakes or whatever. But for the most part, like it sells itself when they see what it's done for you.
And don't forget how relatable it is to not be making $10,000 a month. Like, do you have any idea? And think of yourself, how before you were a coach, like, man, I could use an extra $200 a month to pay for my car payment, or I could use an extra $50 a week to pay for my groceries. Like, that's the average American human. Like, any excess money that you can bring in for your family and to pay your bills is nothing to bat an eye about. And it's nothing to be like, I don't really make enough, so I don't really know if I can talk about this. And it's crazy because I used to say the exact same thing. Well, I haven't made a lot of money yet, so I don't really know how to talk about it. And now I'm like, man, it was way more relatable when I was only making, $100 a week, because that's attainable. That's something that you can teach your coaches how to do and like share with them. And so even if you just say like, in a coaching post, like this extra income that I'm making this month with just staying accountable to health and fitness goals I already have, working out for 30 minutes a day, just paid for my groceries, just paid for my car payment, like whatever it might be, or just paid for me to go get my nails done and I never can get my nails done, or a massage, or whatever it might be. Yeah, you're not allowed to share like actual dollar amounts, but you are allowed to say that it covered the cost of XYZ. You just can't say like a dollar amount, from my understanding. So if you just say that, like, oh, I was able to treat myself, get a new outfit, get new shoes, get my nails done, whatever, those small things, people see that and they're like, shit, I haven't had my nails done in like a year because I can't afford it. Like, it'd be nice to have an extra $40, $50, whatever it might be. So just think about how good you've turned a corner. Good. Just think about how relatable that is. Sorry, I got off on a tangent.
Both, Heather. I don't know what you're talking about, but everything we've talked about refers to stories and posts. Okay, mine was, we have a couple more minutes. Don't compare yourself to anybody else in the business. It can be dangerous. That leads to a lot of self-doubt. I do it all the time. Well, I try not to anymore, but I used to a lot. And then you just get in your own way. You doubt yourself and it brings you down instead of motivating you. And a lot of people, I think, you feel like if you compare yourself to this other person, it's going to push you to be better or like more like them. But I feel like a lot of times it's the opposite. If you compare yourself to someone else, you're never going to be someone else. So it has like the reverse effect. I don't know. It just brings you backwards. So we all have different goals in this business. We all have different lifestyles. We all have different personalities. So Taylor, so it's crazy to think I don't know how to explain this without like talking about myself. So like, I can't compare myself to Stephanie. 1, she's been doing this for 2 years longer than me. 2, she has different goals than me. 3, we have different lifestyles. Like we have different jobs. We have different family lives. Like would I like to be making the same amount of money as her? Of course, but I can't get in that mindset of, I want to be making it now because I'm not at the same stage as her. We're so different. So you just have to stay focused, I guess, on your own goals, setting your own goals, reaching your own goals in whatever way you can to fit your lifestyle.
And I've done this too, guys. Like I've compared myself to Nicolette, my upline coach, and been like, oh, I want to do that. And you can never make, like, as much as we want to, if you're working this business, you'll never make more than your coach. Obviously, like you contribute to your coach's paycheck. You know what I mean? So if you're actually working this business, the chance of you out earning your coach is pretty impossible. So feel free to challenge me. But the thing with that is though, like you can't ever, you know what I mean? So it's hard to ever compare yourself to that and be like, well, I want to make that. Sure. Push for that. Know that what it looks like for her to have that income. What did she need to get there? She needed to have 15 diamonds on her team. Okay, I need 15 diamonds on my team so I can have income like that. You can look at the business structure and see where they're at so you know what you need to push for, but never compare yourself because you don't know what her life looks like. You don't know what, like social media is so pretty, guys. You don't know what real life looks like behind the screen. So never compare yourself to anyone ever, not just social media. I think that's a really good point or not just coaches, I mean, but
and it's okay for you to have different goals too. Like my goal, it will never be to be a top coach. Mm-hmm. I don't want that. It's never been on my radar. It never will be. So it's okay to have your highest goal be not as high as someone else's.
Yeah. Let
think
it align.
a comparison standpoint too, not just income, but like don't lose yourself like trying to like have the vibe of someone else, or like have like the personality or someone else, or like have your posts be like somebody else's, because like you lose yourself and then you're like, what am I even like posting about, right? Like this doesn't even like feel like me, it doesn't even sound like me, and that comes across and that affects your business. So like you're just, nobody is the same person as anybody else. And I mean, if we were all the same person, this team would be like really boring. And I would never want to go on a retreat ever again with any of you if it was like 14 of me.
That's scary.
Yeah.
So, and then
She was saying with hers, I forgot that we were supposed to talk about it, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what hers was. Like you have to, we take inspiration from other people's posts and that's fine. But if you try and copy someone's post and post it as your own, people are gonna see right through it and no one's gonna sign up with you that way.
And then my top tip, in addition to all these things, because like if I were to tell you, if no one else talked on this call tonight and I said my top tip, it would be consistency, guys. Hands down, if no one else talked and you said, what have you done to be successful in your business? I've shown up every single day. Not at the same speed, not at the same momentum, but I have shown up every single day for 4.5 years in my business. So, but in addition to that, you guys, Beachbody tells you what to do in an email 30 seconds after you sign up. They tell you the 4 vital behaviors. Those 4 vital behaviors: be proof of the product, invite, personal development, and recognition. Those 4 things are the only things that work in this business. Some people do them better than others. Some people get better results. Guess what? They're going to get better traction in social. Well, sometimes. I'm not even going to say that all the time. Some people get better results. Some people have better conversations. They invite and they're talking about goals and they're talking about visions and they're talking about life. They're not just selling a product. Okay. So you've got to be good at each of these things and you've got to develop these skills in each of these things. But these are the 4 things that you need to be working on every single day. Your personal fitness and health, sticking to a program, sticking to a meal plan, drinking your shakes, sharing about it, inviting every single day, personal development. Why does Beachbody tell you 30 seconds after you sign up to do personal development? Shouldn't they be telling you to work? Shouldn't that be what they want you to do? They know that you will burn out and quit. They know that you need to pour into yourself. It's so important. Beachbody is telling you to take care of yourself. You guys, newsflash, your job is to be healthy. Mentally, physically healthy. That's your job. And when you master that, when you take care of yourself first, other people are going to see it. They're going to want it. They're going to feel it. And then recognition. We've talked about this on other calls before. Recognizing your challengers for the hard work they're doing. It could be literally they got out of bed today, because sometimes that's all that they can do. Maybe today they pressed play and they did 10 minutes of their workout. Maybe today they completed a program. Maybe today they lost 50 pounds. Recognizing those people for every little milestone they hit is so important, because they might not be getting it at home. They might not be getting appreciation. They might not be getting any of that. And you are filling their cup, and you're filling your cup through personal development, through this team, through recognition from your coaches, so you can keep filling their cups. It's all about the flow of energy that we've got going on here. And those 4 things are literally the only things that I do that have gotten me to this point. To this point, to today, I don't do advertising. I don't do email marketing. I mean, I might be going in that direction, but I haven't done it yet. Okay. So to get me to where I am right now, I haven't done it. I haven't done anything that you can't do yourself right now, today. You can do everything I've done in my business today to keep moving your business forward. Okay. There's no secret here. I'm not hiding anything. There's nothing I haven't taught you. Everything that you know and have in your pocket, you have to create whatever success you want. Whose face is dirty? Mine?
No, I recommended Girl Wash Your Face to
Oh.
Vicky, and then she was like, "Is that the name of the book?" Like, yeah, it's the name of the book.
Because there were no commas, nothing. It was like, Vicky, girl, wash your face. And I'm like, but I did. I just, is there something on my face? Like, okay.
That's funny. We did a whole, and if you guys need it, we can do it again. That book is really great. That book is a really great read, and it's quick and it's fast. We did a book club on it. So we did like daily accountability so that you read a chapter every single day. They're super short and easy. We did a book club on it. If you guys, I'm not going to lead it because I've done it before, but I have all the content. If someone wants to lead a fun book club to hold each other accountable to some personal development, we've got the tools. Yeah, we can do a book club. Somebody message me and say, I'm going to lead a book club, and I'll give you all the tips and resources to go lead a book club for the team. That's super fun. So just you all commit to it. All right. Somebody send me a message. I'll check my inbox later. All right. That was a great call. I would love, I'm going to actually right this second, go into the team page and hold on. Let me do it. If I could try to.
Are you doing wildflowers tonight?
We'll do it quick. Drop your I just made a post in the team page to drop your top takeaways from the team call. I would love to see what you guys took away from this. What did you hear that you needed to hear tonight? What are you going to take away and work on later? Go ahead and drop those in the team page on the post that's there. And this was recorded as long as everything, my internet seemed okay. So as long as everything's fine, it was recorded. So I will upload the recording. And we'll see you guys next week. Next week is going to be huge. Please make sure you and all of your teams and success partners join us for our next call next week. It's on October 1st. So Thursday night, we are going to go through everything you need to know for October. And we have a new coaching challenge. Who loves challenges? I'm obsessed. Who likes prizes and challenges and needs a roadmap of what to do to give me all the things, right? Yes. We've got some super fun prizes for you guys for next month. It starts on, okay, 1 second. Starts on Thursday. We're going to walk you through everything you need to know and how you can get all the prizes and how you guys can move your businesses forward in October. I'm really excited about it. I know the other coaches on the team are really excited about it. The Diamonds, we all kind of put this together last week. And this is a challenge open to every single person on this team, whether you're a brand new baby coach or you are a Star Diamond coach. You have equal opportunity to earn these prizes and incentives for next month. And I'm excited. So be here next week, Thursday, so you can learn all about it and lock them all in. Christian needs to tell you guys something.
Earlier, I saw the dead.
Oh, he saw a dead mouse today. So there's that. Sorry.